Hello there, and welcome to this session of ELLIIT Talks. We are talking about digitalization in different aspects, and today it will be all about design for security, privacy, and trust. Or do I say privacy in Britain?
Privacy, I think, is better. Privacy is how you would say it in America.
Yeah, well, I felt it's privacy.
Yeah, privacy is
British
English.
Yeah, and the reason that's important is because we have Mark Dougherty here. But we are in Halmstad at the moment, and you are here as
Professor in Information Technology at Högskolan in Halmstad.
Yeah, and besides you have Johan. Not a professor, not yet?
Not yet. Associate Senior Lecturer of Mathematics, I think it's the British way of saying it, right? I mean, not Assistant Professor, I mean, would be more the...
Yeah, well, you can get into a big minefield with all these different academic titles. Don't go there.
Don't go there. Yeah. Don't go there. But
just be professor as soon as possible, and then all of this goes away.
I would try my best.
Yeah, and stick to privacy. That's the easy way of getting into this area. So, well, good to have you both here. And also, we have, all the way from Träslövsläge, or do we say Lejet? Katrin.
We say Lejet.
Hello, Katrin. Läget?
Yeah, it's nice. It's very nice to be here. I look forward to this panel discussion.
Yeah, this is, if you don't know her, this is Katrin Sjöberg. Let's get it right. Technical advisor in connectivity at Volvo Group.
Yes.
Bam!
And thanks for having me on this panel.
Yeah, so just tell me, what does a technical advisor in connectivity at Volvo Group do a normal day?
Oh my God, I do a lot of different stuff, but it's everything from reading proposal of legislation to work on input to standardization and antennas, cables, communication systems. It's a diverse set of tasks that I have on my plate, to be honest.
Well, thank you for joining in. And if I say design for security, privacy and trust, what are your first thoughts on that topic, Katrin?
Yeah, I mean, these topics are essential for the automotive industry at large, I would say. Trust, privacy for our customers, and security is, of course, we are designing things. We have security in mind always. It's security by design, and and the safety. Of course, we need to put out safe products on the market. So, these are really important things for us.
Yeah, but we have all the data about the traffic and all about the society, but also we have about the drivers, the people in the vehicles. So we're close to a private perspective. So from a privacy perspective, this is sensitive data.
Yeah. Some of it can be sensitive. If you talk about finding out who has been where and when, that can be sensitive from a personal nature. But a lot of this stuff is also sensitive from a business perspective. If you're running a fleet of vehicles, then your competitors would really like to know what your load factors are and what your efficiency of your business is, what prices you can be charging at that rate, and so on. So this is data that's often very confidential for business users as well as personal people.
Yeah.
I mean, a lorry driver might not mind so much about people knowing you've been there or there. But from a business perspective, you know exactly what loading factor a vehicle is running at. Compare that to your own figures. Maybe you can find out why this company is doing a little bit better than you are. So that stuff is very sensitive indeed.
Yeah. How do you handle this at Volvo?
Yeah, I mean, so of course we have a lot of privacy measures in place. I mean, we have legislation also in Europe, which actually drives the legislation throughout the world. For protecting especially the personal data. I think the personal data that you can trace and individual vehicles is good protected through the general data protection regulation that we have in place that, are, and we also have an e-privacy legislation that is coming up that will put up even more requirements on when you're transferring data from any unit that is connected to the internet. So of course the privacy is of paramount, but also the business critical data, of course. So
Johan, just before you join in, give us your perspective on this. What are you doing in a normal day? Because you're into traffic and situation through this. Yeah, well, tell us.
Right. So my background is that I'm a mathematician, right? But I sort of converged into some different areas here, and but here in this I'm partly doing some analysis, trying to solve some mathematical problem that arises in this context, but also partly doing simulations and doing some other stuff, teaching, supervision, etc. But in this specific context, it's more about either doing simulations and doing thinking or doing analysis, kind of hands-on when it comes to solving specific problems here, to be honest. I mean, it's
and how much of these questions about integrity do you come close to?
I'm mostly into safety. I mean, we talk about this privacy, security, and then we have safety, which for me it's more about avoiding collisions. I mean, physical collisions between objects.
Yeah.
So that's a different part of it. But I do think there's something interesting here, because what I think is, if you don't have enough data because of privacy or privacy reasons, you may not have a safe enough system. So for safety, you want as much data as possible from all types of different car manufacturers. You want openness, right?
So you say GDPR could be a problem for getting in front of the
not
development.
not really. But what I'm saying is that there is there may be like a trade-off in some sense between. This is something I think about right now when you guys talk about safety versus
I see.
security and these kind of things. Openness of data. Yeah.
Do you agree? Do you see? Is there a problem here?
Yes, there is a problem, because we want to increase road traffic safety. I mean, like Johan just mentioned here, where we would like to exchange data between vehicles and between other road traffic participants. And then GDPR is an obstacle for us. Of course, we have been working for many years introducing wireless communication directly between vehicles, but GDPR is one obstacle, and that's the greater societal interest compared to the privacy of the person. So I think Johan points to one thing that is very crucial, and it's not fully clear in the Brussels area and regulation from the Commission how to handle this kind of I would say corner cases where you want to share maybe personal data in order to increase the road traffic safety, to avoid accident or incident. So yes, here is these kind of legislations like GDPR, which is across or horizontal across many industries. It's difficult. They don't want to make a special legislation for road traffic safety or for transfer of bank details. So that's a problem we have.
Since we have so many manufacturers, so many different cars around there, do we need more kind of standardization when it comes to regulations, legislations, and stuff like that for being able to get into the autonomous vehicle world?
Yeah, I mean, so the Commission in Europe and also all over the world are working on legislation that we could sort of put out autonomous vehicles. It is quite tricky moving away from having a driver that is responsible for driving the vehicle, and moving and having an autonomous vehicle where you could maybe have passengers, but no one is responsible for the actual driving. So we are working intensely together in the industry at large to find suitable legislation for bringing self-driving vehicles onto public roads.
Yeah.
So,
and will it be possible to have the left side driving in Britain?
You'll have
Yeah,
to
I
go
mean,
in
I think
reverse.
That would be a first meeting, I believe. So what do you think what are you working on at the moment from your angle, Katrin?
no, but so I am part of the Volvo Group who are working called Volvo Autonomous Solutions, and we are bringing autonomy to public roads and confined areas. So we are working on several very interesting initiatives, and one is a pilot in the Switzerland where we will launch yellow machines that are autonomous, electrified, and connected for a customer who wants to drive to decrease their CO2 emissions and the environmental impact. So there's a lot of work in the confined areas, I would say, in general, because it's an easier environment from an autonomous perspective when you want to bring autonomous vehicles, because you can control the area. You could make sure that people are not entering where we have the autonomous operation, compared to public roads where you need to find all different kind of corner cases to avoid accidents.
So these are confined areas.
Yes, like in a quarry, a mining site, where you can actually, have a high fence, and where you only allowed,
Okay.
or where you are not allowing people into certain parts of the mining site, or it could be a harbor as well, or yeah.
Yeah. So because it must be trickier when you blend it with the normal traffic, I believe.
Yes, because then you also have, because on a confined area or in a mine, you could have, all vehicles could be autonomous in one part of the mine, and they are working together to solve something in the mine. But on a public road, we cannot shift, from, we have the manually driven vehicles, and from one day to the other, we only have autonomous vehicles. Then it would be an easier case, right? We need to, the autonomous vehicle need to be present together in a mixed traffic scenario. And of course, the highway scenario is an less challenged environment compared to, for example, an urban environment in a city where you have so many other actors also involved.
Yeah. This is close to your research, I believe.
Yes, I would say that I know a subset of what Katrin knows, because she's a co-author of most of my papers. So this, but essentially, we have been working together and complementing each other, I think. I like I said, I look a lot on the safety aspects and these kind of things, and Katrin has a more broader perspective, I would say.
Yeah. When it comes to all these autonomous vehicles, do we have some kind of anything about privacy there? Do they need to be anonymous? Oh, my autonomous anonymous vehicle, or do we always gather data? It might be a silly question. I don't know, but I'm just curious.
Well, it depends, because if we move to mobility on demand, then those vehicles are not owned by any particular person. They're like taxis, and then anybody can be using them.
Yeah.
So then you've got a really quite complicated privacy situation, because it's not data that's restricted to just like, it's not the data in the ownership of the owner of the vehicle, in the way that if you own your own private vehicle, then the data that it has in there is kind of like under your control.
Yeah. But there will be some information about me just by using the car.
Yeah. Because you've got to pay for it, presumably. So there's going to be some kind of payment information. Everything we do in modern society leaves this like electronic paper trail of things going. If we knew where to look, everybody will be able to see exactly where you had gone this morning, and then you filled up the car there, and then you drove here, and all this kind of things. So actually, Sweden is quite liberal in this context. If you go to somewhere like China, then you have face recognition everywhere. They can track everybody around and do.
Yeah.
So no, but I think that there are other things which maybe not less privacy issues, but more concerned with like not necessarily safety, but if vehicles are going to use large amounts of communication to like broker against having collisions and like communicate to traffic lights and things, then you can imagine that somebody sometimes will think this would be a fun wheeze to like disrupt all this communication and cause a huge traffic jam.
Yeah.
And I mean, this in computing, we call it a denial of service attack. So I can certainly imagine denial of service attacks happening if you win this, because if you train all the vehicles like so they communicate together. Right. Okay. Then we can get greater throughput, get greater efficiency of the roads. We put the vehicles closer together, and it's still safe, and that's fine until somebody disrupts it. At which point you're going to get an almighty traffic jam, and it's going to be really difficult to. So making the system robust against those kinds of attacks is quite important and quite challenging actually.
From a Volvo perspective, how do you work on those issues?
No, but just like he said that, you need to create a system that is robust. Mm-hmm. And you cannot just maybe trust to have one source for data when you're deciding on certain maneuvers or whatever. It depends on, we have several wireless technologies out there that can help the autonomous vehicle. And the denial of service attacks are usually targeted towards the internet connectivity. More and more vehicles are connected to the internet through sort of, you install a 4G modem, like a mobile phone, but it's adapted for the automotive industry. So it is connected to the internet in essence. So of course, you need to create a system. You need to be robust. It's a design matter.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to robust systems, I'm thinking of the world of militia, military world. Are they more robust? Those systems? Can we take ideas from that area?
Well, we can, but you have to remember that the military hardware has a completely different price ticket to civilian hardware. So you can make stuff really, really robust, but then it's like completely beyond the. I mean, it will cost too much. I mean,
so that's the reason we don't have it.
I mean, an F-35 costs like $100 million just for one, and okay, it's an aeroplane, so it's a little bit more expensive to build it, but an awful lot of that cost is just in the electronics and making it robust, making it completely secure, so secure against electronic warfare and that kind of thing. And that is expensive. But of course,
but they must be in the front of
developing. And of course, one of the reasons why it's expensive is that we don't build very many JAS Gripen or F-35s. The production run is very small. Whereas the production run for vehicles that run on the road is much bigger. So there is scope to trickle down some of those technologies for wider mass production. But you've got some major political questions about doing that because, military stuff is all secret and government doesn't want it to be. So it's kind of hard to trickle down at least the current generation of military hardware because that's not something that the governments want out in the open.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think also there's a lot of regulations when it comes to this. I mean, this kind of export control, war material, etc. You don't need to necessarily be able to shoot with it to make it classified as war material, and then there's special regulations if some components are part of a system that, in terms like for a submarine or something, like small component might be war material anyway. So. That's there we can talk about regulations and stuff. But no. I mean, so that's another complication.
Let's go back to personal integrity because I'm thinking we talk about the personal perspective. We've been talking about it here, but then also we can see that we're gathering information about us all the time. every platform, asking questions and collecting data about us. So I'm just thinking, what are we too picky about this? Is it worth protecting this integrity that much? Because, well, it would be easier if we. Is that an old school thinking, or is this the most important thing in the world? What do you say, Katrin?
I think it is extremely important that the privacy and integrity of your personal data, and I think GDPR, who was a major, it was a major legislation. It changed a lot in Europe. All the companies in Europe needed to do a lot of work, but it was worth it.
But isn't it just the old way of thinking? Oh, it's my data, it's my life. No, it's you're inherited all the DNA, and don't think you're so special. It would be easier if we all come along and join in with our data. Don't be so picky. It's now I'm a bit naive, I realize, but couldn't it be that way?
No, I mean the data. We have had several scandals around data. You could just look what happened with Facebook and the U.S. election when Trump was elected and so forth. There are so many scandals around how to use data and how to manipulate people's behavior. And I think it's extremely important to really, preserve privacy and keep integrity, because that's a weapon today. That's a weapon today in the digital world. So yes, I think it's extremely important. We should not be naive.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I think it's very important, because I think people are not going to trust the suppliers of whatever services, vehicles. They're not going to. If there's a question of trust with the individual users, and like the level of trust between users and individuals and big government, big business, big. I mean, you look at the number of people that refuse to get vaccinated because they don't trust big pharma. Okay, and I think it would be fatal for the vehicle industry, or any other industry for that matter, to end up in the same situation. We don't trust big transport because they're stealing all our data and doing all this. So I think it's vital to have that trust between the companies and the individual people.
Yeah. And legislations like GDPR, it will pay off even more later.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm thinking about the vulnerability, and we're talking about hackers. How do you work with on those issues at Volvo Group when it comes to enemies who want to get into your system and hack it? What's your thoughts about that, Katrin?
Yeah, it's the same here. I mean, cybersecurity is essential. We have a new legislation coming up for the ordinary vehicles that we have on the streets today, the ones that we are driving ourselves. A new legislation on cybersecurity, exactly addressing these aspects with cybersecurity threats towards the vehicle, towards the backend system that the vehicle is connected to. This is really serious, but cybersecurity is a moving target. I mean, we need to be ahead of the hackers.
Yeah.
So it's a matter. Yeah, it's a cat and mice game. Of course, we are. Yeah, it's the core, as I said earlier. Security by design.
And how secure are the general infrastructure in Sweden if you compare to other countries? Are we on a high level, or are we a bit behind? Mark?
Well, that's. I mean, I would say, in many respects, Sweden is quite advanced, because we introduced. I mean, things like the bank ID system for general, IC security for personal use, broke through a lot earlier than in a lot of other countries. I mean, there are plenty of countries where you still don't have this digitalization of all these government functions and banks and everything else. So, I mean, not only was that useful in terms of reducing risks of data going out in many different contexts. I think most importantly of all, when we had this kind of project to roll this out, it educated everybody in the country about how important this was. The general people, the politicians, the people in charge of all the different government agencies.
That's an advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Because once everybody, once companies, government, the people, politicians, once everybody agrees that this is important, then it tends to mean that stuff gets done. So I would say that generally speaking, the sort of the level of infrastructure and I mean, IT security can't really reduce it down to an infrastructure. As Katrin said, it's like a process. It's carrying on all the time. It's not like you can say, right, that's job done. We've done our IT security and it's secure. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
It's a continual process.
But can we be too dependent on technology, or would it be great to have become more low tech in some area, just being humble and or being not have all the we say eggs in all
the eggs in one basket?
Yeah. Or is that could we rely too much?
I mean, this is a very, very philosophical
yeah,
question.
definitely.
And I definitely.
I want to end with a
exactly.
philosophical.
This is end point here, and I don't personally think so,
no?
but other people might think so.
Katrin, are we too dependent on technology, do you think?
Both yes and no, but no, I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, we are sensitive. We are sensitive when we have, electrical outage, for example. We had it here during the weekend. So yes, I mean, of course, everything is depending on that you can charge it and you can have electricity. But I don't believe that. I think the technology serves the human pretty well. A lot of good things have come out of technology. So no, I don't think that we are too dependent.
Okay, last question. You sometimes have give the opportunity to wish for something. And when it comes to this area, and design for security, privacy, and trust, you can wish for one thing each. Katrin, what do you wish for?
That was a really tricky one. No, I wish for that. No, what should I wish for? No, but we in Europe will be world leading on privacy and security for the citizens in the European Union. I think that's a very important topic for all of us.
That's a good wish. Johan?
I wish for exactly the same thing.
Boring, but it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. And of course you do the same.
Well, no, I mean, I'm going to say the thing that I raised up earlier about proper support for accident investigation. I think this is so important for rolling out autonomous vehicles and stuff. Things are going to go wrong. We've got to accept that things go wrong, and we've got to have a way of investigating that openly to be able to go on. And then when it comes to too much reliance on security, on electronic. So I think the key thing that I would like to have there is free coffee on the train when the electronic payment system doesn't work and nobody can buy any coffee because nobody has any money with them anymore. So that would be.
We end on the search for free coffee. That's good. Thank you so much for being here, Katrin. High five. Thank you so much for being here and for all your good lines and thoughts about this topic. And thanks to both of you here in the studio, and thanks to all of you joining in front of your computers. I hope you enjoyed.